Sam Bennett had always dreamed of becoming a great writer. Ever since he was a boy, he'd been captivated by the power of stories to shape the world. But as an adult, his dream had not come to fruition. His novels, though filled with passion, had never been published. The rejection letters piled up in his mailbox, each one a reminder of his failures. To make ends meet, Sam worked a dull office job, barely able to muster the energy to keep up with the demands of his day-to-day life. One night, after another round of harsh rejection, Sam sat alone in his dimly lit apartment. Desperate and frustrated, he grabbed a pen and started scribbling. He wrote not another novel, but a list of predictions, things he wished would happen, things he thought were destined to come true. He wrote down small things, like winning the lottery or finding the perfect job, but his list grew to more significant events: the downfall of a corrupt politician, a storm that would devastate a nearby city, the death of a beloved celebrity. As he wrote, Sam felt a strange sensation, a tingling in his fingertips, as though the words were flowing through him rather than from him. He shrugged it off, but deep down, something felt different. A week later, Sam's life took a strange turn. The news broadcast flashed a story about a major political scandal. A top politician he'd written about in his predictions was found guilty of embezzlement. His heart raced as he turned to his notebook, flipping through the pages. There it was, in his messy handwriting. The fall of Senator Warren Green will come swiftly. He will be exposed for embezzlement, and it will shake the country. He couldn't believe it. It was as if his words had come to life. Sam laughed nervously, unsure whether he was simply lucky or if something far more profound was happening. So he wrote more predictions. He started small, just to see if it was a fluke. A week later, the local news reported a freak storm that had devastated a nearby town, exactly as he had written in his list. At first, Sam kept his newfound ability to himself, but the predictions kept coming true, and his anxiety grew. People around him began noticing the strange accuracy of his gut feelings, as he called them. His colleagues at the office became curious, asking for his thoughts on their personal lives. One by one, they tested him, and one by one, his predictions came true. Then something unexpected happened. A friend shared one of his predictions on social media, and it went viral. People were fascinated. They began to ask Sam for advice, predictions about the future. Sam didn't know what to do. He was a struggling novelist, not some oracle or prophet. But as the requests piled up, he couldn't deny the pull of the attention. He became a sensation, gaining followers and media attention. He was soon approached by a publishing company, not for his novels, but for a book on predictions. They wanted him to write down everything he sensed about the future. Sam reluctantly agreed. The book, titled The Prophet's Guide, became an instant bestseller. He was invited to interviews, conferences, and talk shows. Everyone wanted to hear from the man who seemed to know what was coming next. But with each prediction, the consequences grew more severe. It was no longer just minor events like rainstorms or lost pets. It was tragedies, accidents, and scandals that would alter lives. Sam felt a growing weight on his shoulders, knowing that his words were having an impact on the world. The more he predicted, the more lives were affected. One evening, after predicting the collapse of a major corporation that led to thousands of people losing their jobs, Sam had a breakdown. He realized that he had been using his newfound fame for personal gain, exploiting his ability to make money and grow his following. He had become a modern-day fortune teller, but in doing so he was losing himself. He couldn't shake the thought, what if I'm not just predicting the future? What if I'm shaping it? He spent days in isolation, examining his past predictions. That's when he uncovered something truly disturbing. His earliest predictions had been about things that he was personally involved in, people he knew, situations he understood. But the more popular he became, the more distant the events seemed. And now there were predictions he hadn't written down, things he had merely felt or seen in his mind, details that no one had ever told him about. Was he somehow tapping into a hidden part of the universe? Or had his success in predicting the future made him a puppet of fate? In one last desperate attempt to find the truth, Sam made an impossible prediction, one that would be truly world-changing. He predicted the end of the world, a catastrophic event that would alter humanity forever. But when it failed to happen, he realized the painful truth. He was not a prophet. He was merely a man, struggling with his own fear of failure, projecting his anxieties into the world. Sam finally admitted to the world that he was not a prophet, not a guru, and not someone who could predict the future. He had been merely a man with a vivid imagination and a desire for recognition. But in doing so, he had discovered the most important truth of all. The final prediction Sam made wasn't about disaster or success. It was about choice. "The future is not set in stone," he wrote in his final book. "It is shaped by the choices we make, the actions we take, and the lives we touch. Don't let anyone else tell you who you are or what your future will hold. The only thing that is certain is that you can change it." Sam never predicted again, and his books were quietly pulled from the shelves. But the lesson he had learned remained with him, and it was a lesson that he shared with anyone who would listen. Sometimes, the greatest prophecy isn't about knowing the future. It's about understanding that the future is ours to create. If you found Sam's journey fascinating, make sure to subscribe to keep up with more stories of self-discovery and unexpected twists. Who knows what other mysteries lie ahead? Subscribe now and stay tuned for more thought-provoking tales.